Your background in permaculture is what led you to develop the fabulous arch in which you grow your tropicals. But out here, you're doing pretty well too. Tell me about these beds.
Well, one of the benefits of having a greenhouse in January is that you can put seedlings together in there and germinate them, and then put them in your garden. And so last January, that's what I was busy doing, and I decided I really needed to remake this particular bed into a keyhole bed, which is a permaculture concept where you basically, if you want to get to your bed, you just use the path in the middle here, the keyhole, to have access to everything very easily.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was concerned about this spot because it gets full midday sun. I sheet mulched these beds for the first time. I used to double dig everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the French intensive method. That's what I grew up with. My neighbor over here used to call me the diggingest man he'd ever seen because.
And now they say don't ever disturb it.
And now in permaculture, what we want to do is we want that beneficial microbial mat that's in there to stay in place. You want to keep putting nutritious stuff over it and let it just kind of develop. So these are really new beds. They did pretty well through the summer. I think as I continue to work on them, they'll do better. So in the front here, I put this bed to rest. It was just getting too much sun.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't control for the plants there.
Right.
Or I could, but what I had to do was put more aluminate over this area, which I actually did do for a while. Then I took it off. So we've got a few squash. They're struggling. I've got a beet plant here. And
your beet looks happy.
And a
cat that likes
of course,
beet.
it's looking really healthy here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got eggplant over here. I've got, again, some...
oh yeah, the eggplant looks good.
You know, and I've
eggplant is cute!
Yeah.
Are they babies or is that going to get big?
They'll get a little bigger. So this is kind of, you know, these plants take a lot more water than the plants inside the arch do.
Mm-hmm.
Another benefit of the arch is that it retains water much better, so I don't have to, I deep water, and that deep water effect stays for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now over here, I have been here so long that I have a lot of mature acacia, mesquite, and palo verde. I had never done any gardening under these until this past year. This project I had so many seedlings, I thought, I got to have a bunch of beds. And so I borrowed another permaculture concept called mounds. And I started creating mounds. And actually over here is a mound that's in the process of getting created.
This looks like Holland, where they build ponders.
This was the remains of a...
Is there a cactus skeleton there?
Yeah, this is the remains of a Cereus plant, a Peruvian Cereus.
Whoa, yeah.
That got killed by the freezes. And so what I've done is use it as my woody material.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm building it up with compost and downed limbs and other things that will go in here. And then I'll put a cap of earth and more compost and aspen shavings and other things on it and build it up even more. Now that's what I did over here where you see my dark star zucchini plants.
And it's liking it.
And these dark star are growing underneath the shade of the palo verde. And they have just been thriving.
How do you deal with all the zucchini?
I eat the zucchini. And I enjoy zucchini and find different ways to.
Your liver thanks you.
Yes. So I have just been in the process of building these mounds and gardening with them this summer. And what I note that's beneficial about these, certainly their location underneath the canopy of the trees is the first thing. But secondly, when you put all that woody material in there and the microbes start to digest it and work on it, you get something like a sponge happening in there.
Yeah.
And so you put deep water that mound and just put water into that thing, it retains the moisture very well against the heat. So my watering needs are actually less with more benefit. What you see here is the result of the root systems going into that mound and having a stable amount of moisture to work with all day. Yeah. And so they don't wilt in midday the way these plants out here are doing. This is also a mound built with a dead mesquite tree. And you can see some of the
I
mesquite.
just read about this
Yeah.
building with wood underneath. And it made me think, well, doesn't that make termites and stuff come and... No. It
Well,
just starts to rot.
You know, everything is, the thing about the termites and everything else is really about the balance. The termites are always going to be part of the picture.
Yeah.
But you really want all the other kinds of critters to be numerous as well.
Yeah.
So that what you're getting is really working. And so what I've got here is the remains of a fairly mature mesquite that rather than cart the wood off somewhere, I'm burying it. So one of the benefits of that is this term we call carbon sequestration,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And if gardeners everywhere began putting more wood in the ground, that would be one of the ways that we could begin to have a beneficial effect. In the prairies, it's about getting all that grass to mat
And use it.
and to get back into the earth.
Yeah, I am not the only wasp visitor you have this morning.
Oh, I know. The wasps are here because of the pond. This is my little mint patch.
It's a happy patch.
Yeah.
And it doesn't try to take over your life? It doesn't bound out of there?
Not so far.
Mine is always very
It's going
aggressive.
to require a little bit of attention here soon. I actually have some blackberries here under the mesquite. And
Have they borne fruit yet?
yes, and then I have something in the rose family that I haven't been able to identify yet. You don't have any blossoms on it, but really beautiful little red blossoms on it. So this is
that a volunteer or what?
that I purchased, I'm sure, at one of the Tohono seed sales, or plant sales, and I just lost track of the tag.
I know how that happens. And then you just have to wait and see what it is.
Yeah. So here's another one of those mounds in progress.
That's very cool.
And this already has a layer of compost in it, and then I'm putting more wood over that. I'll put more composted manure on it, and a cap of earth.
I like it.
In next spring, you'll see lots of stuff growing out of that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, inside and out, you do pretty well. This is really the queen of the garden.
Did you like that?
Right here. This is so lovely.